Hey guys and gals, how you doing? Well, I was watching a video by Bernard Chapin over at Chapin's Inferno. It's called Fear of Rejection. So we get the cigar lit. And he was talking about going out with his guy friends in college and, talking to girls. And he was talking about fear of rejection. And it was a great video. You got to go and watch it. If you're not subscribed to that channel, you should be. It's a good channel. And I've long wanted to make a little video in relation to something, kind of in relation to that. Myself, damn, it's windy out here today. I've long wanted to make a video about something that happened to me. In that video, he talks about how in college, some of his college friends, and when they ask a girl out and they get rejected, the college friends would rank them for it and laugh at them and make fun of them. Ha ha, you got burned, ha ha, and stuff. Now later on in life, as adults out of college, they wouldn't do that. When one of the guys would go out and try to talk to a girl, get a number or something. How in college, when he failed, they would make fun of him, whatever, and laugh at him and stuff. How later on, when he got older and he'd do those kind of things, his older friends wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Good for you, good on you, good on you for trying." Even if they got rejected, good for you to go out and make it. Because it's not easy for a guy, not easy for me. Certainly, I'm kind of a shy guy. At least I used to be. It's not so much anymore. It's not easy for a guy to walk up to a strange woman, and they're all a little strange. Jesus, I'm inhaling my own cigar smoke. They're all a little strange. It's not easy. It's hurtful when they just look at you like you're crazy. When you talk to them, whatever, and they're just like, "Get away from me." But as he rightly said in his video, good cigar burn, he said, it's just what you've got to do. If you don't make calls, you don't make sales. That's the way that is. Anyway, here's my little story about being made fun of by fellow people. And this happened about 12 years ago. I was newly divorced. In fact, I've been divorced maybe 10 years ago. I had a girlfriend, been horribly in love with her, and got dumped, and my heart was broken. And so I was trying to get back in the dating scene again. And so what happened was, I had another friend of mine who had also just recently been dumped, and I'll refer to him as the creeper. He's older than me, and he's kind of a creepy guy. Whenever I'd gone out with him in the past with women, he kind of was creepy with them. He's kind of like, "Hi, how are you?" He thinks he's going to get laid that night. That's his idea. And he's just kind of creepy. I call him the creeper. For this video, I'll call him the creeper. I don't want to say his name. But anyway, I asked him to go out to my regular friend at that time, who I was spending a lot of time with at the time, younger than me. He was, again, kind of socially awkward, and not really good with women. He was trying to learn how to talk to girls and stuff, but he was very socially awkward too. The creeper was socially awkward as well. He couldn't, barely ask a girl to dance generally, for the most part. That was even hard for him, let alone, actually talk to him. So anyway, my other friend, who I'll call, I'll call him the jerk, because he was kind of a jerk. Kind of an a-hole with women and everybody in his whole life, actually. I'll call him the jerk. Kind of a nice guy at times, but generally he was kind of a social awkward, inept, kind of a jerk kind of a guy. One reason he never had a girlfriend for the most part. He treated him pretty badly. Treated everybody pretty badly, actually. Anyway, that's why he's not a friend of mine anymore. But we used to hang a lot back then and smoke cigars and drink cognac or whatever, or whiskey or something. Anyway, so he and I were going to go out, and I asked the creeper out as well, because I felt kind of bad for the creeper, the creep, because he was, going through a tough time. He got horribly dumped, and he was just going through a horrible time. He was drunk a lot, stuff going on. And I thought it'd be fun to go out with a group of guys. Well, my friend, the jerk, you shouldn't call him the jerk, but he was. He invites a friend of his, whose name, by the way, was mine, Kelly. He invites this guy named Kelly. And I didn't know the guy, but I heard some funny stories about the guy. And I wasn't too keen on the whole thing, because I didn't know him, I didn't know how he'd fit in with the crowd. The creeper knew the jerk, It's totally terrible calling these guys names, but, wants to say, I don't use their real names. So they were pretty comfortable being around each other. They knew each other. And the jerk wasn't always a jerk. When there were times he was a pretty nice person. When he was poor, not doing well in life, he always wanted to help and wanted to have friends. So just once he made some money, he became a total dick, basically. I'll call him Dick. So Dick and the creeper and me go out, but Dick invites Kelly, who I'd heard some funny stories about, and I'll illustrate that in this video. So I'd been newly dunked and I was really kind of brokenhearted, but I thought it'd be good to go out, and to talk to women, what I'm saying, and kind of practice those skills. And I was only divorced for, 2 or 3 years at the time, or something like a couple of years, so I was still kind of myself learning how to talk to women, and walk up to girls and get their number or whatever, So I'm still not a master at that. I claim to be no master at game, but I'm evolving just like all of us all the time, and hopefully getting better at talking to women and getting your numbers and all the rest. I'm really good on the date, but still walking to girls you don't know and getting numbers, it's hard for everybody. It's something you got to just get over with. Anyway, so I talked about this story a little bit before from a different perspective in one of my other videos. So we go out to a very popular pickup bar, basically. It's a very popular bar, a lot of young people there, and older people too, but a lot of young girls and a lot of singles. It's kind of a singles bar, not a pickup bar, but a singles bar. Immensely popular and quite crowded. It's a tiny dance floor, and mainly it's just kind of a bar. So we go out this night, and it's just really crowded as usual. Lots of people there running around, and it was fun being out with the guys. And you feel when you go out with the guys, you do feel a little protected, You do feel a little more confident, I guess. You're not that lone guy sitting there. You can always talk to a girl, and then you go back to them, and you laugh about getting rejected or whatever, and whatever. Or you can always go back and hang out with them, and have something to do. So anyway, that night I was wandering around kind of alone. They were off doing their thing. The creeper was over somewhere watching girls dance or something like that. On the dance floor, being creepy, which he was. And Dick was hanging out with his friend Kelly, not me Kelly, but other Kelly. The guy didn't really want to come along, quite frankly, because didn't know who he was, and here's some funny stories, and we'll illustrate that. So that was the night that I walked along this. The bar was a long bar, and there's a bar, and then there's like a wall, and a long wall. And right before the bar, there was these two women sitting there, much younger than me. I had no real intention to ask either one of them out, really. But just as an exercise for my own mentality and as practice, they were very attractive, very young. They were probably, they're in their mid to early 20s, probably. You know what I'm saying? And I was an older guy at the time. Though I had dated girl. I dated a 22-year-old back then. I dated a 24-year-old as a long-time girlfriend back then. So it wasn't like I couldn't get girls that age. It just. But they were clearly out of my league, or I was out of their league, or whatever you want to say, clearly. And I wasn't super confident, but I was kind of confident, but not really super confident that night. And but I thought for practice. So I walk up to him, and I just walk up to him and say, and look at him for a sec first, just kind of look at him. And they were sitting against the wall, but kind of pointed outwards. And that kind of gave me the feeling they kind of wanted to talk to someone. They weren't just huddled up, pointing to each other. And the wall. Their chairs were against the wall. The table was here, and their chairs were pointed outward at the crowd. So I kind of feeling they wanted to talk to somebody, have some kind of social interaction. So I just walked up and looked at him, and I just said, "You girls look like you're out for trouble." And he looked at me like I'm flabbergasted. And one of them said, "What do you mean? What kind of trouble?" And I said, "I don't know, just trouble." And they laughed, and I laughed. And it kind of reminds me when, in this video I'm responding to, where Bern walks up to those girls and said, "Where are we going tonight?" That perfect Bern, perfect, way to talk to women, in a lighthearted kind of fun way, what I'm saying? And they reacted to it well, too. And these girls that night, too, reacted well to this. They laughed, and I said some things, and I said, "What are you doing here tonight?" "Something's up here, I can tell." I really couldn't tell. I just wanted to, have a conversation. So one of them explained to me that, this was supposed to be her wedding day, or her honeymoon day, I think her wedding day. But she literally caught her best friend, one of her other best friends, on top of her boyfriend, naked. And that was the end of that. And I felt bad for her, because no one should have to put up with that, But she was handling it pretty well. It'd been a year since that happened, I guess, or something like that. So she was handling it pretty well. Wasn't like it happened a week before. So we're talking about a variety of stuff. Just having a good time, and we're laughing. I'm making them laugh, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't get a strong vibe. They wanted me to ask one. I wanted me to ask her out or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you get that vibe sometimes. This was just a good conversation and social thing, you know. And they were having a good time, though. I was making them laugh. They were having a good time. At which point, the creeper. And I kind of did this thinking maybe that one of the guys I'm with would be able to, you know, ask one of these girls out. You know, I really had no intention of doing it, but I thought, you know, wait, one of my guys, you know, they'll see this. They're more their age. You know, the two, Kelly and Dick, were kind of their age. So I figured, you know, they might, you know, take advantage of the situation. Who knows, you know? And then nothing else. It's good practice for me. So the creeper sees me doing this, seeing me talking to these two hot chicks. He immediately, within a few minutes, wanders over and kind of stands next to me, you know, and acts creepy as he usually does. You know, trying to kind of work off my vibe, you know what I'm saying, see if you get a word in edgewise or something, which around me you're never going to get a word in edgewise anyway. Actually, I was doing a good job of listening to the girls that night, so that was good. So the creeper comes over and stands to my right. And, you know, then we're kind of a foursome, you know, we're sitting there talking and goofing around and stuff, you know, which is cool. You know, it makes me look better, I guess, because I've got friends anyway, you know, I'm not just a lone strange guy out, well, not that matters too, I guess, but I'm still a strange guy, just not a lone strange guy. So next thing you know, Dick wanders over to my left. Creeper's on my right, I think, and then Dick wanders over to my left over there, to my other side. And I'm still mainly the one talking to the girls, engaging and stuff, you know, and they just don't know. They can't, you know, I gotta tell, I know this to them, to that crowd, those three, at least to those two, at least to the creeper and to Dick, that this is unusual. They don't generally do this kind of thing. They don't generally walk to girls and strike up conversations and at least do well. And, you know, Dick did a little bit, but so he tried occasionally, but he's kind of a dick, like I say, and he puts people off. So the conversations don't generally end well. And one night we were out, and he actually was talking to some girl and bragging about how rich he was, how much money he was making, and all this other weird stuff, which I don't recommend necessarily. And he came running over to me on the other side of the bar. Quick, this guy's going to beat me up, you know. Her brother was going to beat the crap out of him because he's being such a dick. Anyway, so this night, Creeper shows up, and then Dick shows up. And next thing you know, Kelly shows up. And again, I'm telling stories and making them laugh and asking them for their stories and laughing at their jokes and their stories. You know what I'm saying? We're having this back and forth and repartee, and you know, I'm being my typical social raconteur, you know. And so at that point, Kelly, out of the blue, doesn't know me from Adam really. We just met that night. Says, "Whoa! You're a pimp daddy. You're really the Mac Daddy, aren't you? Well, look at him talking to these chicks. What a Mac Daddy, man. You're macking down." All this stuff. It just went on. You know, went on and on. And Dick had told me a story. Dick became later on somewhat successful. But when he wasn't successful, he actually worked delivering pizzas when he was going to college. And when he went out with Kelly one time, he told me the story that he went out and was talking to these girls, you know what I'm saying, and one thing Dick was doing was trading commodities. And he'd been doing that even when he was delivering pizzas. He was saving his money, he'd been trading commodities in kind of a small way. He'd actually inherited some money from someone, and he was using that money to trade commodities. And he had made a little money, you know, then he lost it all, and back and forth anyway. And one time when he was talking to a girl, somewhere, a couple girls, he sat down and was talking to some girls and trying to make some headway. They asked him what he did. And he said, "I'm a commodity trader," because in his mind that's what he was going to be, and probably what he is today. Matter of fact, we don't really talk anymore, but you know. At which point Kelly says, not me Kelly, other Kelly, jerk Kelly. Kelly says, "Oh, what happened?" And what happened was, the girls asked Dick what he did, and Dick was going to say, "I'm a commodity trader," you know, and display some excellence and some power, if you watch my other videos, which would be a good thing. But before he could say, "I'm a commodity trader," Kelly chimes in, "He's a pizza boy," like that. And I told Dick, I said, you know, you should never, ever go out with that guy again if you're planning on talking to women, because he's a destroyer. He wants to destroy your chances. He's a hater. He doesn't like. He has no game with women whatsoever. And this guy had no game whatsoever. So that night, he walks up, doesn't know me really very well at all, and says all this trash. And I was embarrassed to my gills, you know, because I was trying to talk to these girls. I wasn't like a Mac Daddy or anything. I'm not a Mac Daddy, whatever the hell that means, you know. I was trying to, you know, talk to them and stuff. Yeah, and if one of the girls would say, you know, what's your name? One of the girls said, you know, gee, what do you do? And you're kind of cute, or you should touch my arm or something. I would have asked her out, but that's beside the point. This guy comes over and does that. And the point of this whole video is, and I've heard a couple of the stories of doing that to Dwayne, to Dick before. And the point of this whole video is, do not let men like that be in your sphere. And this guy is 26, 27 years old. He did this. It wasn't like he was a high school kid. He was 27 years old, 28 or something. He was a man, He should know better. But this guy didn't like. He had no game with women. Was lousy with women, in every way. But he didn't like anyone else around in his circle, in his area, to have any kind of, patter either. And he would purposely go out of his way to spoil their game, to hurt their game, hurt them. And I told Dick after that, I said, something, don't ever invite him along. Because he didn't ask me if he could invite Kelly along. He just did it. Oh, Kelly's coming too. Oh, really? And I said, really, is that a good idea? I said, is that a good idea? Because I've heard these stories about things you do. And then he did to me, a complete stranger. I'm not his friend. I don't know him from Adam. And I told Dick after that, I said, don't ever invite that guy along ever again. I never want to see him in a group again. If you invite him along, you're going out alone. I'm not going to come along. Don't do it again. And I told him, I said, you should never go out with him on your own either, because he'd already told me these stories, as you should know better. Don't ever go out with this guy again and try to pick up girls, because if you do, he's done it several times to him, and he now done it once to me. And I kept talking and stuff, but I was so embarrassed, what I'm saying, and I just felt like, he basically ripped my mask off. I was trying to be continual raconteur and stuff, and I wasn't trying to make it look like I was trying to get laid that night or something. We even asked them out, that's just all subtext, that's just all, with women and men, that's subtext. You don't have to be, it's just an obvious thing anyway. But when he did that, he's making fun of me and saying, oh, Mac, Daddy, you're a real pimp, aren't you, and stuff. It's like, really, in a perfect world, I wasn't really mad at the time that much, but really I should just grab him by the shirt and slap the living shit out of him. That's what I should have done. But I can't, because then you get sued and you go to jail, get kicked out of the bar. Point is, though, don't ever let men, guys like that be part of your group. When someone does something like that, don't do it. Like I say, when I was talking to these girls, part of my idea was maybe the creepy would come over, and hit on them and stuff. It's not out of the question. He actually had a job which was very prestigious, that they would have really liked, and then who knows, maybe he would have asked one of them out, maybe would have gone out with one. It's, I've done it before with friends of mine, where I've actually kind of set them up with women that way, and it's worked out. Or maybe, Dick would have come over, when he was more their age, if maybe he could have made an impression. But once that was said, once this guy started saying, these girls are looking at me then, like, and all of us, like, at first of all, I didn't really want all four of them to come over there and stand there, because it was kind of intimidating, two girls, that kind of spoiled things a bit. But also, once he said that stuff, that was pretty much it. We talked for a few minutes long, and said, oh, good talking to you and stuff when we left. But I left, But the point is, Creeper didn't leave. Creeper still stood there, But the point is, just ostracize guys like this. These guys are not your friends. They're just going to ruin your game. They're going to ruin your pattern with women. They're going to go out of their way. And even if you have a girlfriend or whatever, if you're dating a girl, they'll go out of their way to screw things up. They'll just inadvertently say things about other girls you've been with or God knows what. Just do not have friends like this, because they're not your friend. They're just jealous little creeps. But that's it. I decided to respond to Bernard's video. And you got to watch his video. If you're watching my channel, go watch a video and subscribe to the channel. But with that particular video, Fear of Rejection is just a great video about things I talk about in this channel too, about talking to women, and dating and relationships. Just a great video about that. I've said some of the same things, and it's a great video. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys and gals. Thanks for watching. Please like or dislike the video, and please subscribe and share the video. Please share it on Twitter and Twatter and Facebook and Stockerazzi book. That'd be great. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.